Guess we gotta try this again. Dear Lord, I know that we've been here before. It's been a long time, I hope that you don't slam the door. I try to walk away, but there's some shit I can't ignore. I could be wrong, but seems like you don't even care no more. Cause since our last talk, you ain't playing fair no more. And when I pray, it kinda feel like you ain't there no more. I still don't understand why niggas who deserve it dies living, but the ones who ain't deserve it isn't here no more. And no, I don't want no one else to die. Instead of trading souls, I got something else in mind. There's a lot of moments that I wish that I could change. I could fix a lot of pain if you help me out this time. Maybe we can undo all the damage, press rewind. Reset the clock and make it so some niggas never die. Or maybe fix all the mistakes of those that's still alive and give them all a second try. Erase that Will Smith slap and turn them back around. Or wait till they get backstage so they can have it out. Or maybe make it so that Chris chose a different joke, a different topic, something Jada won't be mad about. Matter of fact, let's talk about this shit I'm sad about. When Pop Smoke accidentally leaked that address out. Lord, you know the streets crazy, how you drop the ball? And you know niggas keep a target on these rappers now. And give us Kobe Bryant back, we a mess without him. Take back the day he ever stepped inside that helicopter. Make him take the car instead and forget the chopper. Maybe take a different route or get a different driver. Can't believe you took his daughter and she left behind her. It's kinda hard to see the positive and that's the problem. I know you don't make mistakes, but I was hoping you'll erase that bullshit so his family won't be left without him. And I wish I could fly to Russia on a different mission and make him pay for putting Brittany Griner in the prison. Or maybe you could bring her back to February 17th and you can take the CBD so she ain't flying with it. Or maybe change that 9 years and give her 9 minutes. Or better yet, change the law so they can stop tripping. I know that's a lot to wish and it ain't my business, but until you grant my wish, I ain't gonna stop wishing. But Lord, listen, this shit irking me. How you take P&B, that shit absurd to me. So many questions about that shit and it's disturbing me. That niggas can't eat waffles without security, and niggas can't work hard and go buy some jewelry. That one hurt to see. And by the end of the song, they gon' try to murder me. And if they do, I hope my fans take it personally. I know you hear me talking, Lord, don't be curving me. Won't you take us back to Kylie Jenner's party? Before them shots hit the floor, before the bullets ricochet and leave us dripping more. We don't know the truth or if we misinformed, but either way, take it back and make Tory hop inside a different car. Broke my heart when DMX died, I hit the call. Feel like that nigga was an angel in a different form. Might have had a drug problem like he did before, but he was fighting demons and I know that that's a different war. You must got a major ego. I ain't trying to disrespect and trying to play the hero, but when you took Takeoff, you took my favorite Migos. Look, I don't know how that makes sense, cause it makes zero. The fucking wrong place, wrong time, that ain't Gito. Took that man right in his prime, that's playing Evo. When Tiny Luster died, I cried and played CeeLo, cause I can't even watch Friday without saying Devo. You know this shit got me stressed, right? Staring at the Bible, trying to figure out who's next, like. Why you take the ones who ain't deserve to see what death like? Meanwhile, 6ix9ine free, living his best life. Go back to the day that he took the stand and confessed, right? Tape his mouth shut so he never talked to the fans, like. Make him do his time so his niggas gotta do less, right? Make him learn from Bobby so he can know what respect, like. Lord, forgive me for my language and these bad words, but that Candace Owens bitch get on my last nerve. How you gonna tell me that what we witnessed on TV was a murder when we watch niggas turn his ass into Casper? George died from asphyxiation and that's a factor. Fentanyl or not, he'd have never died in his last words. Well, I cannot breathe, so really she gotta chill. Or maybe they should trade places so she can see how I feel. Little bitch got me stressed, God. Probably not prepared for what I'm asking next, God. Bring Ye mama back, cause he a mess, God. And he ain't been the same ever since Donda West died. Yeah, that's the day Kanye West died. First his heart, then his mind, then the rest died. And if your bank account is overkill, your soul can be broken still. Even the rich spirit money can't buy. I pray the heavens watch me. Rest in peace, Biz Marquis, you got peace. Young Dolph, King Von, Drake in your top 3. Black Rob, Trouble, Virgil, and Shock G. Pat Stay, K-Slay, and Fred the God G. She almost took Lil TJ, but I'm happy he got Lee. Lord, you even took Black Panther, that's not G. And when Sidhu Moosewala got shot, that shot me. Begging for your guidance on this ghetto earth. Frustrated, trying to understand how heaven works. I'm just hoping you can pull a couple strings to redo a couple things so maybe we can get a second turn. You took juice from us that forever hurts, but putting the blame on you that'll never work. I know this ain't your fault, it's the devil's work. Devil's work.
What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy to see you all here. So you guys are asking about the song. The song is actually by Joyner Lucas. I'm going to get demonetized for this live stream, unfortunately. I've been listening to it all day. I love Joyner as a rapper. I think he's really talented. So I wanted to play his song. I've been playing it all day. It's been in my head all day. I really like the song. Anyways, time for charts. But first and foremost, what's up, Dan? Yeah, it's a good song. It really is. What's up, Nico? What's up, Nico? What's up, CSE? What's up, Andrew? What's up, Jory? What's up, you sir? How you doing, man? Always nice to see you in here. I didn't hit up Coin News today because I didn't know when I'd be live streaming. I had to take care of some things over the last 3 or 4 hours. My girlfriend doesn't know this, but I surprised her at work with a bunch of stuff. But it's all sitting on her car, so she'll get off work. She's had a bad day. Whatever. You do what you got to do as a man to make your girl feel good. But anyway, that's what I've been doing over the last 3 hours. Took me. I got cards, flowers, all this shit, and I had to go to different stores. It was rush. I forgot it was rush hour traffic. It's just, it is what it is. You into UK rap? Not really. Huge move. Which direction? We'll go over that soon. So, okay, couple things, guys. Looking at SPX. We've kind of dumbed down the SPX chart, the S&P 500, to you've got your bullish zone, you have your no man's land, which is we're neutral, we're not really macro bullish or macro bearish, and then you have your bearish, which is below that 3,800 level. Couple things. So, one, we bounced very heavily yesterday. Huge bounce. I think some of the banks that we think are collapsing are actually being saved by the government, or they're using the collapsing banks, which we talked about this on Monday. I don't believe the banks that are falling through really matter that much. And I know a lot of people are going to say, but these are billion-dollar banks. Well, every bank is a billion-dollar bank, right? If you're really talking about the banks that matter, you're talking about JP Morgan, you're talking about US Bank, Deutsche Bank, Wells Fargo. I mean, some of these banks are worth trillions of dollars, right? I mean, you have multi-trillion-dollar banks, JP Morgan. You have multi-hundred billion-dollar banks. I believe JP Morgan Chase is one of those. Or did I just say JP Morgan? Yeah, I did. Sorry, excuse me. I'm thinking of Morgan Stanley, not JP Morgan. I'm thinking Morgan Stanley is a $400 billion asset bank. Regardless, these smaller banks that are less than $100 billion, I don't think they matter that much. I think it'll hurt the market. I think it definitely hurts people, but it's not the same as saying JP Morgan's going down or Wells Fargo's going down or Deutsche Bank's going down. I mean, those are the top dogs. US Bank too. Those are the top dogs. And we discussed this. Of the top 15 banks, the top 8 are the ones you need to pay attention to. If any of those go down, it's going to have a significant impact. But until that happens, which it has not happened, and I don't think it ever will happen. They have too much money. They control too much. I don't think it's ever going to happen. But if it does happen, if one of those banks goes out, then we have a problem. Then we're looking at a stock market crash. I think what's happening now is, you have these highly leveraged banks that are kind of important, kind of not important. I mean, when you're comparing them to other sizable banks, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I really haven't looked into this because I've never heard of the banks that people are talking about. And I've worked in the financial field for about 8 years, right? Which is, I'm not some guy that's worked there for 40 years, but when you're there for 8 years, you know all the big banks, you know where all the money flows, you know how it flows, securitization process, all of that, right? It's part of your routine. I appreciate that. Yeah, I need to start live streaming more. I'm definitely going to start live streaming more. I've been focusing on trying to, it's tough in the bear market, right? There's not a lot of excitement. You have to come up with new content. You have to keep chugging along, even if, the thing that I always forget is you have to keep going no matter what, no matter how many viewers. There's sometimes I get 50 viewers, or sometimes I have 250 viewers, but in the end, the consistency is the key. And ultimately, my goal isn't to make money off YouTube. That's why I play music that gets me demonetized. That's why I run a free Discord. Yes, I have trading classes, but that takes a lot of my time out of my day, right? So that small compensation is what kind of pushes me forward to continue doing that. But you know, same with Twitter. Everything on Twitter is free. I do it because I enjoy it. You know, when it's very boring, it's hard to make content because now, not that I feel like I have to make content, but like I feel like it's part of my daily routine. It's part of my quote unquote job now to make content, to make, you know, and make reliable content, make things that people can learn from, make things that'll save someone from FOMOing into a trade, make something that might help someone in the long run. That's my goal. You're late? Oh, you haven't missed anything. We really haven't talked about much. Start freestyling. So my girlfriend's stepdad actually records music, and they're all Puerto Rican. So like they're all quote unquote colored people, and like, you know, they're pretty good at rap. I'm really, really good with words, and I can write poetry. I can write really, really well. I can't freestyle for shit. I can write lyrics really well. I have helped some of my music friends like write lyrics because I'm really good at math, right? So if you're good at math, usually you can do the music thing pretty well. Now creating music, you can usually repeat music pretty well. You're not really like a creator, but I can create lyrics pretty well. I can tell stories really well. You know, I think I am pretty well spoken. I get the whole, like with rap, it's all about like syllables, right? I think that's the word. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like how many words can I put in a line to make the syllables consistent? Same with poetry. I mean, rap and poetry are the same thing. So I've always been interested in it, and he's asked me to do it before, and I've thought about it, but you know, it'd just be like a for fun thing. If it ever goes somewhere, I'll definitely like post it. You guys can roast me, or you can love it, whatever, hate it, love it, whatever. Swiss went into the same troubles, but apparently Switzerland Gov and its central bank going to help them out. Yeah. Even for 50 views, we learn a lot. Oh, anytime. So let's get into this. So S&P 500. We just talked about the 3 zones. Dumbed it down made it very simple. Until we break 42 or until we break 38, we're in this area of no man's land. I know this is a big area. I know there's a lot of trading opportunity in this area. That doesn't mean that we won't trade in this area. What we're saying is, at a macro standpoint, right? The macro standpoint meaning if we break below 3,800, we are expecting crypto to go lower. We are expecting tech stocks to go lower. We are expecting the market, the equity market, the S&P 500, everything, S&P, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, everything to tank. We're expecting housing to come down. We're expecting gold to go down. So those are our macro. You guys know me. The S&P 500 is my macro chart. This is where and the DXY. I get my macro input from this, and my phone's about to blow up. I think she just found her surprise. So unfortunately, she has not found her surprise yet. Good, because I was about to have to ignore a phone call, and that's never good. But the whole point is, we're looking at this from a macro standpoint. You guys know I don't really trade the S&P 500. If I was to trade the S&P 500, it would be to gain or start a long-term account like post like market crash or market pullback. So like if I was looking at this, you know, and this is hindsight, I'm not saying I would nail this move, but if I know we're in an uptrend, we're in a bull market, and I wanted to start like some type of long-term like trade, like not necessarily trading, but like a long-term holding. You know, I'm trying to buy the pullbacks. I'm trying to buy when we come back down, or, you know, if I see a couple big red days or a couple big red weeks. Because, guys, even when you go up, there are plenty of pullbacks along the way. But, you know, don't really trade the S&P 500 unless it's for long-term exposure, like long-term, like holding 10, 20 years, like a long-term just to diversify assets. But looking at the 1 day, actually looking at the 4 hour, so kind of important, we actually have what looks like or appears to be a double bottom. This was pointed out by one of my trading students today, or previous trading students, but he's still in the Discord with all the patrons. He pointed this out. I totally agree with him. We mentioned on Monday, and I mentioned in yesterday's trading class, that it's very, very possible that we see some kind of double bottom, retest this support again before maybe testing this resistance. Even if rejected, we could continue sideways. We ultimately want to see a break either way, of either direction. Then we'll have a more clear picture of what to do, whether that be continue with the DCA, whether that be, okay, we're going into a bull market, maybe look at what Bitcoin's doing. Is Bitcoin breaking major levels that we need to start heavily buying into? Regardless, there's not a lot to go off yet. We're still in that no man's land. I don't believe that this diagonal really matters that much. And I know a lot of people keep looking at the diagonal, keep feeling out the diagonal. They're kind of obsessed with this idea of this downward diagonal. And I was too, I won't lie. But when you break above something, retest, and then break back below, there's so much confusion here. And I think it's just being used as liquidation. I've always said, use the horizontal supports and resistances. They are way more accurate in determining macro bullish, or even a simple bullish, like simple swing trade bullish, simple swing trade bearish. That'll help you basically define where your trading standpoint is. Roman the rapper, Roman the white rapper at that, dude. Holy. Relationships while being a busy trader. How do I balance life? Oh, man. Enjoy not sleeping. Nah, relationships are easy if you make them easy, man. They're always going to be hard work. And that doesn't necessarily mean that bad thing, but they're always hard work, right? Like, you're always, especially, and I hate to say this, but especially if you're a man, and I know this is like more and more relationships today are being less traditional. Mine's very traditional. The man pays for everything. The man, not everything, but the man does that. Pays, drives, opens the doors, does that, and the woman does her womanly things, whatever those are. I won't go into that. But my point is, the more you give to them, the more they'll give back to you. And I'm thankful that I'm just now learning that, because it's taken me 3 or 4 relationships to learn that. Not that not that any of my relationships were bad, but it always felt like we were just pulling, for like this, instead of just like pushing towards each other, if that makes sense. Anyways, DXY. So, pointed this out yesterday in yesterday's trading class. Did not point it out in the stream Monday. Or maybe I did, I don't remember. I actually got accused of stealing this today. I'm not sure why. I literally have a video of me talking about it yesterday, but whatever. This is an inverted head and shoulders on the DXY. If we break our neckline, the neckline being about 105.3 to 105.75, somewhere, or maybe even 106 to keep it safe. I would say if we break 106 anywhere in this area, this circle, you're looking at a confirmed bullish reversal pattern. Now, what does this mean? If you've been following the live streams for a while, you know that this is very bearish for equities and crypto. When the DXY goes up, typically equities and crypto go down. So this is the big move that I'm talking about. There is a big move on the horizon. If this breaks the neckline, you're looking at not necessarily a crash across the board for stocks and crypto, but you're looking at a major downward move. This is a market reversal move with the DXY, especially considering the SPX is near support. If the SPX loses 3,800, what do you think is going to happen to crypto? I honestly believe crypto will retest maybe 15,000. I've always said I don't think we'll hit the lows again. Maybe we will make new lows. Maybe we won't. Now, if the S&P 500 does lose 3,800, you're probably looking more at making new lows in crypto. I don't believe we'll lose 10K, though. I've always said that. I don't think 10K will be lost. How can someone steal TA? Yeah, I have no idea. Like, it's literally right there. Like, someone pointed it out, and like, this is a day chart. Like, it hasn't even happened yet. So, it's just weird. It's so weird when you're... Like, I had... Like, last week, I had Dr. Profit accuse me of stealing analysis when I don't even follow him, and I have his account muted. So, like, how would I have seen anything that man has posted? Like, whatever, dude. Whatever. But yeah, very, very important. This is where that big move is going to come from, and that's why, and I know it's a little clickbaity, but this right here is going to tell you where that big move is coming from. And it looks very, very likely that we're seeing a bullish reversal pattern on the DXY. Tether dominance. This one's tough. I talked about in yesterday's trading class that we're looking at a potential double bottom, especially on the weekly chart. The week's not over. I'm expecting this to come back down, form a double bottom, go up. That kind of falls in line with our DXY. Huge wick here. That's mostly because Bitcoin pumped massively. It's really hard to judge at the moment what's going to happen because that pump over the last couple days was unreal. There was really nothing backing it. There's nothing TA that said we were going to go up. Now you could make the argument we're down 80% and we're going to go up from here. We're going to see more pumps because people are accumulating. Sure. You could say, oh, we bounced off the 200 daily moving average. Sure. But other than that, there was really nothing else, right? Most of these very, very large pumps have divergence. They have bullish price action. They have a bullish reversal pattern. They have, countless indications that they're going to happen. Now, this one actually had more bearish indications than bullish. And really what I believe caused it was, so BNB and BUSD are being removed from multiple exchanges. So when that happens, those stable coins are exchanged to Bitcoin, right? So you have hundreds of millions of dollars being exchanged to Bitcoin, which then causes a pump in the price, which then causes a short squeeze, which then causes another FOMO pump. And that's why we pumped 33% or 35% over 3 days. Or that's the only way I can explain it. Other than that, I have no idea, right? I did long, right? We did call the double bottom on the 4 hour. We were looking at this. We were looking at a double bottom. I have it posted everywhere on Twitter. I have it posted in Discord right before it happened, or actually hours before it happened. But I was selling here, right? We were selling here. We weren't selling up here. I did not believe that this was going to happen. I thought we were just going to get a simple breakdown retest for continuation all the way down to 18K, because that would have made an inverted head and shoulders on the weekly. But Tether dominance, look for that double bottom. If it happens, you're looking at, again, more confluence at the XY, more confluence that says the market is going to go lower. Bitcoin, before I get into Bitcoin. Someone has the same analysis, doesn't mean they're copying. It's because it's literally making the same pattern, probably thousands make the same. Yeah, I mean, yep. Pretty much. You're pretty much right, spot on. I mean, a lot of these patterns are pretty basic, you know? It's kind of hard to believe that people say things like that or whatever. I mean, whatever. So going to look at the day, not really going to look at the week. So we talked about the pump on Monday. Pretty wild. Pretty crazy. Obviously on Tuesday we pumped higher, broke that resistance. I believe this is deviation. I think we might go lower from here. Unless we consolidate for a while and then move higher, which is, it's possible. I don't want to say it's impossible. It's very possible. But we're showing a couple things. And one, I really don't like calling this bearish divergence, but we did stop at our RSI trend line. And we did make a new high. And we do have what looks like bearish divergence. We also have what looks like a bearish retest on MACD. We do not have, and I believe across, yes, I know this is a lot of volume, but most of it's wick, most of it's volatility. I don't believe we're making a new high with higher volume, right? I think our volume is much higher, and actually volume is going down. I know it's hard to see on Binance because you have some of this. This is just volatility. Do you count the daily candle wick above 25K as an official close? No. The closes... Like the chart closes where the chart closed. The chart closed 24.7. So that's not a break above resistance. Yeah, sorry about that. Is there a way you can see the average monthly trade volume on Bitkit? I can see the total volume on the people I've referred, but don't see anything regarding my own volume. Are you an affiliate? If you are, there should be, you have an affiliate page where you can see, your own volume. Like your own trading volume. I believe so. Isn't that the short squeeze, the wick at the top? Actually, the wick at the top is the long squeeze because everybody FOMO'd. I've been discovered. So I'll have to read that. That was I just got discovered. The girlfriend found the package, boys. So, and girls, jeez, my phone's about to blow up. So, but anyways, we do, looking at it now, it does look like divergence, or it's looking like that, especially with the close below. Yesterday, and I hate changing my opinion because I know there are people in my Discord asking, is this divergence? Now that we don't have a close above that resistance, I'm changing my mind. It is divergence, right? You do have 3 levels of divergence. That doesn't mean we're just going to nuke to 18K, though. I think it's very likely that we consolidate here. I mean, again, you're looking at a massive accumulation zone or potential accumulation zone, a huge area of sideways movement. Could it mean that the market's resetting for much, much lower? Absolutely. It's very, very possible. But could that also mean... Oh, my headset just did something weird. Okay, it's fine. But does that also mean that we're moving in that sideways pattern that Bitcoin does all the time before we head upwards? And again, I know COVID crash. I think we would have just kept moving sideways here. I mean, this is a giant sideways accumulation between 10,000 and 6,000 or 7,000. So... I mean, I'm just glad that we're finally seeing rallies. We're finally seeing bear market rallies. We're finally getting good movement. We're finally seeing tradable, like upward swing trades, right? So I've always said, like, yes, I'm DCAing. I'm DCAing all of this, right? I'm accumulating right now. We're 80% below all-time highs, or, not currently, but we dropped 80% below all-time highs. It doesn't make sense to not be buying. But now we're finally seeing, double bottoms that play out. We go up. Maybe we come back down. Maybe we make another one. Maybe we make, an inverted head and shoulders and move up. Whatever it might be. I'm really glad we're seeing that now because over the last year, we have never seen that. We haven't seen it at all. We've seen these very small, pathetic rallies that were very, very difficult to trade. They were very, very choppy. I mean, maybe this one was good. This one was horrible. This is a good short, but, we've essentially gotten one rally. I wouldn't even consider this. This is the most choppy upward bullshit. I mean, if this is a 15-minute chart, I tell you, never along that, ever, right? So we've basically seen down only with no relief. Now that we're finally seeing relief rallies, or, we've only seen one, we need to see more. But now that we're finally getting these, it's giving me a shred of confidence that possibly the bottoms, and we're closer to the bottom. The megaphone. Yeah, I know. People are like, oh, the megaphone. I don't know how I feel about that. That's just too large. Like, you're talking about a huge difference in top to bottom on that last part. But maybe it does mean something. But I've never traded megaphone, so I'm not really sure. Yeah, I see it. Let's look at the 4-hour. Let's see what's going on. So, one thing I will say to counter my thoughts that this is deviation, we are holding the support. Yes, we've wicked below, but we are holding support. We're not crashing down. We're not retesting this support. We're actually holding this pretty well. Obviously, our 4-hour was extremely overbought. We did not have any divergence. So we have not had any divergence. So technically, this small uptrend does not have any exhaustion yet. I would personally like to see maybe something like this before I long, where I'd long here. Maybe we get a big flag there, get a smaller double bottom, maybe on a 1-hour or a 4-hour. Take that long there, take the breakout, take the second breakout, and try and ride this to here. I don't think we go over 30K, but that's just my own opinion. If not, there's always the short option. But right now, it's kind of in like a no trade zone, right? We're seeing on the daily possible deviation. We're seeing a resistance, a resistance failure, which we've seen now 3 times. We saw it here, we've seen it here, and now we're seeing it here. So there's very possible that we're seeing deviation. The few times, actually not few times, the many times that I've seen this, where we wick very high above resistance, we usually lose this resistance and dump to the next support level, if not the lower support level. I've also made the statement that this whole pump didn't really make a lot of sense, right? I mean, there really wasn't any bullish TA anywhere. I mean, frankly. I have not checked out CBDCs at all. I know it's basically like government backed. Isn't it like government backed stable coins essentially? Or am I wrong about that? I'm not sure. How do I think FOMC will play? I mean, to be honest with you, I stopped kind of following FOMC. Not because... Actually, it is because I don't think those interest rate hikes are going to have a major impact until years down the road. Because it takes time for... it takes time for those to play out. It takes time for more debt to accumulate. And something that I learned from someone in my Discord is that the debt that we have isn't actually that bad. There's what's called good debt and bad debt. And the debt we have right now, it's mostly good debt. So I'm not really going to expand on that because frankly, I can't. I still having a hard time wrapping my head around that one. But from what I understand, all of the major financial crises that happened were from extreme amounts of bad debt. We actually have, bad debt is slowly accumulating. Not even slowly, it's definitely accumulating. But we actually have mostly good debt. So the odds of a major crash, I don't want to say aren't likely. Like, it's always likely. But we don't have that bad debt that's going to put us under. Glad you're learning. Yeah, for those of you that are new to the live stream, I try and live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday around 5 p.m. Eastern. That time varies. Sometimes I have something like today going on where I start 30 minutes later. I usually cover equities, crypto, the dollar, Tether dominance, maybe some altcoins. I usually stay away from altcoins during the bear market just because they don't really follow TA as much. But that's what we do. If any of you guys are interested in learning how I trade or how my system works, I am currently teaching a trading class. We're on week 2. All of the lessons are posted. You can join temporarily. You can join the whole time, or you can join at the end of class, and you can watch all the videos whenever you want. Now, granted, to watch all the videos, you have to join at the end of class because I do them live for all of the students. You have access to a private chat with me. I answer all the questions you have very thoroughly. If you ever need anything or anything checked or a trading opinion, I try and give you my best piece of advice. What do I think about Ethereum's low? I like it. I don't believe Ethereum will go much lower than it has. Ethereum's also outperformed Bitcoin significantly over the last, I want to say the last 5 years. Excuse me. Ethereum's outperformed Bitcoin over the last 5 years. So I am dollar cost averaging Ethereum. It will probably be my biggest racehorse in terms of percentage gain, next to probably Matic, and then next to Link. Those are the horses that I'm betting on. Now, I'm still doing Bitcoin. I still think Bitcoin will give me at least a 5 to 10x return, which I'll be very happy with. I think Ethereum will probably give me a 20. Matic might give me a 20 to 30, and Link might give me a 20 to 30. So I'm trying to average about a 20-ish x return on the money that I'm dollar cost averaging, which if that goes into play and if I do get that, I'll be very, very happy. I'm dollar cost averaging quite a lot of money over the next 2 to 3 years. Oh, I gotta. Wow, I have a lot of text messages from her. Jeez. Yeah, my biggest piece of advice, and I'm a younger guy, but uh, surprise your woman with something simple. Jeez, they'll love it, especially if they're Hispanic, like mine is. But okay, guys, that's kind of all I have TA wise. If you guys have any questions, I'll stick around for a few minutes, talk about whatever. Anything. It doesn't even have to be chart related. We can talk about anything. Pure alpha. I've actually come to learn, like, when you're like a teenager, or like when you're in your lower 20s and stuff, like being an alpha male is being like super tough, non-emotional, like not like crazy, but like just like, gets tons of girls, does all this stuff, just kind of like stomps on everybody. And not that you're like mean, but now I'm slowly learning that none of that actually matters, and you just look like an idiot. So I'm actually trying to redefine that word in my own mind, that being an alpha male is more of just like being a leader. Like, you guys know who Jocko Willenick is? Kind of being like Jock. I think Jocko's awesome. I think he is a family man, a leader, and he sets an example, right? And at the same time, he'll kill you if you fuck with him. So enjoy the day with her, man. I'm not going to see her until tomorrow. Pure Sigma. No. Thoughts about ING? Isn't that Engine Coin? That thing blew up during the bull market, like exploded upwards in the bull market. And I'll give a basic thought for all altcoins right now, guys. I think it's great that you're into trading altcoins. You're into trading, you're one of those, maybe not one of the, I don't want to say like one of those people, but you think like, oh, Bitcoin only goes up so much and these altcoins go up ridiculously. So let me give you something in the piece of advice. I started trading with $10,000. Now I'm 3/4 of the way to $1 million. And I started trading like seriously like 5 or 6 years ago. So here's my biggest piece of advice. When I first started trading crypto, I wanted to trade altcoins. I saw, Digibyte. I saw Digibyte do one of the biggest runs I've ever seen. And it did another ginormous run. I put like $500 into it and ended up cashing out like 30 grand from the last bull market, just because I forgot that I had $500 in it. So altcoins are great during the bull market. They explode, right? Basically the liquidity from Bitcoin flows into altcoins, and it really doesn't matter what you're in. As long as it hasn't already done like a 50x, it will explode. It's a matter of getting in before it does the huge run and knowing to take profits and just continuously just shifting in and out of altcoins and just making loads of money. During the bear market, you are better off trading Bitcoin and Ethereum. Why? I got burned so many times trading altcoins when I first started trading. So many different times. I wanted to, catch those huge gains. There will always be that random altcoin that does like a 5x on a random Tuesday during the bear market. A lot of that has to do with sometimes whales will take their Bitcoin, sell it to that coin, pump the hell out of the price, and then sell it to Tether, right? Making a load of profit, because you can, and for those people that are like, oh, it's manipulation, oh, they're just taking it, like that happens in the stock market too. It's just not, people only talk about it with crypto because crypto is, what's the word I'm looking for? Crypto is like a new, I'm trying to think, it's I don't know the word, but it's new and there's a lot of speculation around it. How do you recommend finding these alts? So I would do this. I'd make a list, and every day during the bull run, look for them to make reversal patterns. Look for them to make, let's see if I can find one that like really took off. Link, for example. Look for them to do, here's what happened. For Bitcoin, when Bitcoin was in its kind of like 2020 to 2021 stage, You know, lots of, I think that's when we dumped from 40,000 all the way down to 27,000 was because May 2021 was that big crash. But you're looking at essentially, like, look at Link. So Link kind of ran up when Bitcoin did. You're looking at, and we're talking about 2020. So for reference, Bitcoin started running up like October of 2020, right? September, October, November, December, January, it fell very, very hard. It fell from 42,000 all the way to 28. Yes, it continued its run, but that first fall is usually when we start seeing bull market weakness. Will Bitcoin continue to go up? Probably. We haven't seen full, the major levels of exhaustion, but this is what you're looking for. Look at Link. Link in January, February, kind of crashed. March kind of crashed during that period where Bitcoin fell off, right? And then we pumped very, very hard, very, very significantly. Kind of made I bet on the 4-hour, there's a double bottom in here. I bet essentially on the daily, you have a ascending triangle and you have a breakout. You have a breakout of this day candle. You could have longed here and just held this for a very, very long time. And I know this is a very simple and easy example and yada, yada, yada. But let's look at, maybe Mana, for example, too. So Mana, another coin, and believe it or not, guys, I actually caught like half of this move while I was asleep. It was unreal. I put like $15,000 into Mana at like 1.6, and I woke up from my nap, and we were at $3, and I sold it instantly. I was like 2x over, 2x over an hour and a half of sleep, sold, and I sold it. Had I held it to $5, I probably would have made $50 or $60,000. I think we went to $5 almost. But again, Mana, one of those coins that you have a massive bull flag, right? You have a massive bull flag here. However you want to draw it. We broke out here on the daily. Again, this is a day chart, right? You have a massive bull flag. We break out here on the 28th of October and then gigasend. These are what happens to these alts during the bull run. This is why I keep saying stop worrying about all of these other altcoins during the bear market because they're not going to do all these big moves. I mean, look at ADA. Let's say you didn't buy here. You didn't buy here. You didn't buy here. Here's, again, something to look at. You have an uptrend, what looks like kind of sideways upward movement. You have a massive level of resistance at 0.39. As soon as we break it, retest it, gigasend, right? 0.4 to really 1.2 before any sort of struggle, right? That's an easy 4x. Easy. And guys, if you have $10,000, if you have $5,000, even if you have $1,000, you get a couple of those moves and it changes your life. It changes your life because now you have an account that you can swing trade with, that during the next bear market, you can just specifically look at Bitcoin and just trade Bitcoin, make some, 20, 30, 40% gains here and there in Bitcoin on these big swings, which a lot of people are doubting. But guys, these happen like 10 times a year during the bear market. There's a lot of them, right? We've had one just now. What makes me Link and Matic? I just chose them. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that was the COVID crash. Sorry. This is what happens when I'm out all day and in a rush. Yes, excuse me. That was the COVID crash. March 20. Yes, you are absolutely right. My apologies. That was the COVID crash. I was reading the dates wrong. So Link, essentially, and going back on Link, I embarrassed myself. That's my fault. So let's say COVID crash happened, Think of the COVID crash similar to this recession. Link was down significantly from all-time highs. So let's say you didn't buy during the COVID crash, right? You're like, I didn't buy at all. Whatever. In, what is this, June, July, I guess Link kind of did run up. Oh, well, Link did a big run from $8 to $50. So Link, here you go. You've got a double bottom here. Easy. Breakout, retest, continuation. Even if you sold here at 30, you bought at 8, you bought more here, you're looking at a very, very large gain. Alts do follow TA a lot better in the bull market. Solana. Let's look at Solana, for example. Solana had a huge run. I remember it. It was Enormous. You could have Solana. You have a very, very clear resistance here. We have a huge rejection off this area. We have kind of push rejection, right? You have a major level of support. Let's look at dates too, just so we're clear. So you're looking at 2021 here, right? You have a huge area of support in here. You could have easily seen this, seen maybe the double bottom here, longed here, longed this breakout. You could have also longed the break of this, very clear bull flag long here, and ride this up as long as you please. Now, I'm not saying you're going to sell here. Hell no, you're not going to sell there. Most of you will probably end up holding this down to here and then selling it. But still, I mean, you're still making a ton of money. You're still looking at a $20 to $125. That's enormous. It's 5, 6, 7x. You know what's funny? I actually did buy Link around $3 and I sold it at 12. So you want to talk about feeling like a fool? That was me. XTZ. So, as much as I want to go over the only altcoin I say don't pay attention to, don't pay attention to XRP. It's literally the biggest waste of time. It's never broken its all-time high from 2017 and it never will. Huge waste of time. As much as I want to continue going over altcoins, how to trade them in the bull run. When we start the bull market, when Bitcoin breaks its all-time high, I'll go over this constantly. I'll be going over, okay, this is what you're looking for with these alts. When Bitcoin has its first large correction, look for alts. Look to ride alts. Now, granted, I've been DCAing into a couple alts, into Bitcoin, into Ethereum. So am I possibly getting in somewhat at the bottom? Yes. But you don't need to get in at the bottom to make good gains in alts. If you have a couple $1,000, if you have, even just if you have a couple $1,000, and I know a couple $1,000 is a lot of money, but when you're talking about investing, it's not a lot, right? A couple $1,000, let's say that throughout this year, you go out less, you eat at home more. That way you're saving some money, save some money. Now you have a couple $1,000 that you can put into altcoins when we do start the bull run. And you want to make sure that Bitcoin breaks its all-time high. Right? If Bitcoin doesn't break its all-time high, these altcoins are going nowhere. You had Matic at 2 cents and you sold for 15 cents? Man, that's crazy. I remember watching Matic run. I remember this. I actually had Digibyte at like 0.0004 something. So let's see. Digibyte was... Wow, this thing has fallen. So I actually owned... Oh, no, this isn't... Is this Digibyte? I thought this was Digibyte. I don't think it is. No, it is. I know I had Digibyte somewhere around here. It's got a 20... Let's see if it's on Bittrex. Here it is. Here's the Digibyte that I remember. So guys, check this out. Digibyte during 2020? 2019, 2020. So I actually remember this. And I was such an idiot that I forgot I had $500 in it. I had $500 in it somewhere around here. I mean, I ended up making really good money, right? Like, pretty good money off this, but look how far this thing ran. I mean, you're talking about a, 30x. Enormous. Now, granted, you're not going to sell the top, but even if you sold here at 0.09, huge returns. Tigi is the OG. Yeah, it's actually the first altcoin that I started trading. My one of my friends made like $100,000 off Digibyte, like in 2017, and since then it's just always been like the OG coin for us. Yeah, I had Ethereum when it was $80. I just didn't think about dollar cost averaging it. The only thing I dollar cost averaged or bought and held was Bitcoin. That was it. I didn't think to hold Ethereum. This is how it goes. Well, selling early is never like a problem. As long as you go into the trade and you make money and you're satisfied, like you're never going to buy the bottom, sell the top. That's just not real. That doesn't actually happen. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Thanks for being here. I'm looking at live streaming Friday. It just depends on a couple of things. My brother's getting married soon, and I have to help him. So I might be busy Friday, but I'm going to try my best to get on. With all that said, please be patient, use risk management, and good luck trading.